Chapter 3 Angela's POV. The moment I stepped back into Ethan's apartment, the air felt different. Stale. Like a room that had been left empty for years, even though I'd only been gone a few hours. Ethan didn't come after me. I didn't know if he was drowning in guilt or just too busy admiring his new life with Maya. Honestly, I didn't care anymore. Every inch of this place was a landmine of memories. The same beige walls. The same scent of his expensive detergent. The same stupid hopes I'd nursed for 2 years, thinking that if I just stayed long enough, if I was just good enough, he'd finally wake up and realize he couldn't live without me. What a pathetic joke I'd been playing on myself. I headed straight for the guest room, the small, cramped space I'd called home while waiting for a promotion to girlfriend that was never coming. Liam followed me like a silent shadow. I could feel the heat radiating off him at my back, a constant, heavy presence that kept me from collapsing. I didn't dare look at him. If I caught his eye, I knew the dam would break, and I'd end up a sobbing mess on the floor. My hands shook as I reached for my clothes. "You can go wait outside," I muttered, not turning around. He didn't move. He didn't say a word, either. We existed in this thick, suffocating silence. Me, frantically stuffing my life into a bag. Him, standing there like an overprotective statue with a massive superiority complex. And for the first time in my life, I was grateful for him. Because I knew if I saw even a flicker of real concern on his face, I'd lose it. I refused to cry here. I refused to give this house or Ethan the satisfaction of my tears. I would wait until I was alone. I absolutely refused to break down in front of Liam Kingston. The door creaked open, and the mood turned from tense to toxic. Maya was leaning against the frame, her eyes raking over me like she was checking to see if I'd hidden Ethan's silver in my bra. She wrinkled her nose, looking at my open suitcase. "Have you taken everything yet?" Liam turned his head slowly. Lazily. Like a lion deciding if the gazelle in front of him was even worth the effort of a bite. "Shouldn't you be attached to your boyfriend's hip?" he asked, his voice dripping with bored disdain. "Or do you have a new hobby, Maya, aside from being a nuisance?" Maya stiffened, her mouth falling open. She stared at Liam like he'd just grown a second head. I'm pretty sure no one had ever spoken to her like that in her entire life, and the way she bristled showed she had no idea how to handle someone who wasn't under her spell. "I'm just looking," she stammered. "At what?" Liam's eyes narrowed into dangerous slits. "She's packing her own clothes, not stealing the furniture," Maya gasped, her face flushing a deep, ugly red. "I didn't say she was stealing, you didn't have to," he cut her off, his voice smooth and lethal. "Your face said it for you. Move," she faltered, looking between us before huffing and stomping away. For the first time since she'd entered my life, Maya actually shut up. I waited until her footsteps faded before I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. "You didn't have to do that. I could have handled her. I wanted to," Liam said simply. "I don't like her. She's a parasite." I sighed, zipping up the bag. "Nobody likes her, Liam. She's just Maya." "Then why did you stay?" he asked suddenly. I froze at the tone of his voice. He wasn't mocking me now. He was genuinely curious. "Why did you stay with Ethan even after you realized he only kept you around because he liked having a backup plan? You knew he was using your loyalty, Angela. Why?" My throat closed up. I didn't have an answer. Maybe I was just comfortable in my own misery. Maybe I was terrified of being alone. I didn't say anything. I just pulled the zipper shut, the final punctuation mark on a friendship that had been on life support for years. It was time to go. Without asking, Liam reached down and took the bag from me. No smirk. No sarcastic comment. He just claimed the weight of my things as if it was his responsibility now. We walked out into the hallway, and that's when the voices hit us. "She likes you, babe," Maya was saying, her voice carrying easily from the kitchen. "I told you months ago. Girls like that get weird when you're nice to them. They start thinking they actually have a chance." My heart didn't just drop, it shattered. Ethan let out a long, heavy exhale. I didn't want her to get the wrong idea. Once I realized she might actually like me, I couldn't keep treating her the same. "I've known for a long time, Maya. I just thought she'd grow out of it. I thought she'd move on eventually. My fingers went numb. He knew. He'd known all this time that I was drowning in love with him, and he'd let me stay. He'd let me cook his meals and pack his bags and look at him with stars in my eyes while he looked at me with pity. Exactly, Maya hummed, her voice dripping with triumph. I went to her room to make sure she wasn't taking anything. Men never notice things disappearing, especially underwear. We wouldn't want her taking anything that doesn't belong to her just to have a souvenir of you. My stomach flipped. I felt physically sick. And the worst part. Ethan didn't say a word. He didn't defend my honor. He didn't tell her she was being insane or cruel. His silence was the loudest yes I'd ever heard. I didn't step forward. I didn't need to. Liam did. He cleared his throat loudly, the sound cutting through the air like a blade. Before I could even blink, his hand slid into mine. His palm was warm, firm, and completely grounding. He didn't just hold my hand, he claimed it. Well, Liam said, stepping into the kitchen with a bright, mocking smile that didn't reach his eyes. I see your taste in women has hit rock bottom, Ethan. Impressive. Really. I didn't think you could go any lower. Maya's face went white. Ethan froze, his eyes darting to our joined hands. Angela, wait, no. I was done waiting. Done explaining. Done humiliating myself for a man who didn't think I deserved basic human respect. I gripped Liam's hand tighter, feeling the strength in his fingers. And I didn't look back. Not once. Not even when Ethan called my name again, his voice sounding small and heavy with a regret that had arrived exactly 5 years too late. Liam tugged me gently toward the door. Come on, Beau, he murmured, his voice low and private. Let's get out of this trash fire. I let him lead me. For the first time all night, leaving didn't feel like I was losing my world. It felt like I was finally waking up from a long, bad dream. We got into his car, and I sat there in the silence, leaning my forehead against the cool glass of the window. I could feel the anger radiating off Liam, a dark, quiet fury that I didn't quite understand. Why was he so angry? He didn't start the engine for a long time. Finally, he spoke. Happy birthday, little Beau. I turned to look at him, my breath hitching. I know it was a few days ago, he said, his gaze fixed on the steering wheel, his jaw tight. But you deserve to be celebrated, not tolerated. The sting in my eyes was back, but this time, it wasn't because of Ethan. Liam remembered. The enemy remembered my birthday, and my best friend hadn't even noticed it had passed. That was officially the worst birthday of my life. Archer. Share novel and remove ads. Share novels to remove ads and